phase 2. And I said, I've been told that there's over 2 million mind control victims in this country. And he says, oh, no, there's many more than that.
You know,
and 3 million just keeps popping in my head. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe I know, and that's why I keep saying 3 million.
This might be crazy, and I think I might need to go back to the archives, but I'm thinking I heard 3 million on one of our previous guests, which I'll really have to check that because that would be synchronicity if it is. But I tell you what, Ugene, I think my neighbor might be part of that dark awakening because, man, he's been giving me a lot of grief lately, so perhaps he's part of it. He's coming out of this thing earlier. All right, so you were part of MKULTRA, and you said that you come out of a satanic upbringing. Were your parents involved in Satanism?
I believe it was generational. I haven't been able to find out yet, but I will find out soon. My father's middle name is Merlin, and his uncle name was Merlin. And who names their kid after a satanic wizard? And at first I thought it was when I was 5 years old and Creole Help moved into my neighborhood, but I'm beginning to almost everyone on my street was involved in this.
Really?
The best man on our street was a Jewish Italian mafia hitman. He was the best man on our street.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're saying whole blocks full of people could be part of this sort of shadow Manchurian candidate type people? I mean, just whole blocks of them?
Well, the mafias, the different mafias are heavily involved. Every major country does this.
Okay.
You know, they're involved. And one of the perks for them to get involved, and probably more than half the ministers in this country are operatives.
Oh, now we're talking. Ministers are involved with this, huh?
Yes, many of them. That's why they hide the satanic priests. See, I found this whole operation with David John Oates' reverse speech machine. After the parents wanted out of the satanic grotto / coven, you know, get out of those alive, they were given a list of organizations they could join. So they joined Worldwide Church of God. Even my Congressman Abe knows quite a bit about them. He knows about MKULTRA. He knows about the classified book Advanced Infantry Tactics. The DOD and the CIA were supposed to respond within 2 weeks as of 2 years ago. And they refuse to. They won't say the guy's a liar, he's a fraud, he's crazy. They just will not respond.
Okay. Is it possible that you could, or have you learned? You've said several things. You know how they control people. Is it possible that you could, say, put up a street sign or do something, or say a word, a trigger word, and find out if, say, when you're, say, on a bus or you're at McDonald's and you say a word or something or make a sound, and would you be able to look in the room and see if that triggers somebody, and would that be an indication that they're part of that project? I mean, is there a way to trigger it before the controllers trigger it?
Well, I'm not familiar with that dark thing you're talking about, but I can have a conversation with someone. Within 5 minutes, I can figure out if they're a mind control victim or not. Okay.
Am I a mind control victim?
Well, you know, I'm not prepared for it. I would like to do another show where we can. It'd take about 3 hours to go and explain how to recognize if you're a mind control victim.
Okay.
If you close your eyes at night when you're going to sleep, you're seeing like a lightning storm.
Really?
Flashing lights, different things. You're constantly dreaming about killing people, military, satanic ritual stuff, orgies. If you have missing time, those are major indications. And if you think your thought process is verbal as opposed to concept, which is like what you probably think, my thought process is all verbal. But that doesn't mean you have to only think a thought process is verbal as opposed to concept, because it depends on the level of abuse.
Ugene, have you killed anybody while under the control of your handlers?
Bunker Hill action, Vietnam 1273, was my first major action. I was sent over to Vietnam, my Christmas vacation, my junior year in high school, and I was to get sniper training under the most notorious sniper in Vietnam, Sergeant Alex Luan. You can read about him in Hackworth's book, Soldier. In the book, they describe him as a blonde-headed, blue-eyed guy from New York. In reality, he's a short Mexican from California. And in the book, they say when he wasn't doing military missions, he was a mafia hitman. That is correct.
Wow.
He was in Vietnam from 59 to 75.
Mm-hmm.
He even did a year in a prison camp from 64 to 65 when he was captured. He escaped. And in the Heckler's book, nobody would believe what he would come back and report, him and his spotter. So they started talking radio men to go out with him. Mm-hmm. After 5 radio men went out with him, no more than 3 times each, most of them after the second one, they said, that's it. You can kill me, stab me, shoot me, put me in prison the rest of my life. I'm not going out with him again. Mm-hmm. In the book, he describes him as going out with a radio operator, and they came across a 28-man NVA patrol. 4.5 hours later, that 28 men were dead. He would consistently kill 20 to 50 on each search and destroy missions he went on.
Okay.
They sent me over there. I went out 4 times with him. I got 89 kills. If you'd have gone out with him 4 times and you're a decent shot, you'd have got 89 kills.
Really?
And then the Bunker Hill action was an accident.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let me ask you, Ugene Culson, is John McCain, is he a Manchurian candidate?
No. He is Illuminati. The Bushes are Illuminati. The Clintons are Jesuits.
Really?
And they were all at a gross mass ceremony they did on my family as punishment for me in 2000 with the 6,500 top Satanists in the world, including the Dalai Lama, on July 1st in 2000.
Do you have a photographic memory, Ugene?
Well, see, we're trained, not photographic reading. I can go into a room and I will photograph it. You see, when we're in combat, we're trained to photograph the area, and then if a sound occurs behind you, you can actually point and shoot without looking at that spot. Mm-hmm. If you've seen the spaghetti westerns with Clint Eastwood, we are trained to shoot like that.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, some of the things you said already, and some of the things in your bio section look like you have a pretty good idea. Maybe even a photographic record of it, I suppose, a very accurate record. You just said how many kills this sniper has done and different things. It does sound like you know exactly and remember exactly events as they happened with a lot of information surrounding them.
Yes, it's pretty much photographic, although sometimes it takes a while when you start to remember. You'll remember something and you think, wait a minute, that's not quite right. Mm-hmm. But once I get the memory down, it's like I was there again. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like the Bunker Hill action,
okay.
for example.
All right, so you said that he killed all these people. How many people did you kill?
I'm not going to say it's way up there.
Mm-hmm.
At Bunker Hill, it was 110 men, and I took them all out, and it was an accident.
Really?
They put me along as a tag-along when the NVA Special Ops Company came south of the DMZ, and what made them special was they didn't run.
So you started killing people by accident?
No, we were to go find them. 3 5-man Green Beret LERP teams were sent out with 2 or 2 Marine Scout snipers, and we were to find them and call in a napalm strike. Okay. But we spent the night in the bush. Next morning, we came out in a clearing, family-sized rice paddies, and there was a knoll from the tree line 80 yards out. When we got 40 yards from there, they were behind the knoll, and they opened up on us. And we were pinned down in the shit, actually, because they fertilize with human shit. And we're pinned down. And it was an echelon right, and I was the farthest to the right and rear. So I just fired, maneuvered in the jungle, and came around them, behind them, and they were so busy shooting at everyone else, they didn't realize they were under attack from behind.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you were in that situation and you went to run for it, it wouldn't be hard to find you. They just follow the smell.
It was a blown off tree stump. I had a Remington M16 long rifle, which is a big gun, Series 1. It looks like a giant M16A1.
All right.
It fires a caliber .273, round and casing, 5.5 inches, enough powder to be in a short 50.
Okay.
I emptied that. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, Ugene, who's more powerful, the Illuminati or the Jesuits?
Equal. I would portray them as equal powerful. See, I want your listeners to go to DavidJohnOattsReverseSpeech.com and learn what that is. This is